This is awkward to do live. I don't know how YouTubers do it. Hello, everybody. Welcome to one more of our tier list. And today we're talking about warriors and fighters, which is gonna take a while because we have a lot of our Final Fantasy main characters that go in this list. And I have some choice words to say about some of them. So let's get started. Well, we have our iconic Warrior of Light, which is kind of funny because we put him as so we put the Warrior of Light in the Paladin list because in most of the other FF1 spin-offs he's more like a Paladin. However, he is still the Warrior of Light. He is the OG Warrior of Light, and we're gonna put him in B tier because he's really nothing special, but he's actually not bad either. Most people that play Final Fantasy 1 will have at least one warrior, generally the first character. It's got your tank, can wield sword. I think it's the only one that can do Excalibur. Your classic FF1, but just nothing that special, honestly. You like swords? I like swords too. I have a sword collection that I really, really like. Mainly the rapier. Then we have our knight, well, it's not really a knight, warrior fighter number 2. We have Firion, and oh, Firion. So, if you've known me for a while, you know my thoughts on FF2. I do like FF2 more now than I used to, like, before I started streaming. Firion's pretty average. He's good, but the problem with FF2 is that every character can do everything, and that's it, you know? Like, you can make him a black mage if you really want to. I think Firion's pretty average. Don't have a whole lot to say about him. He's inferior. Oh my god. Burger's on fire with the puns today. Lath, you need to be so proud of him today. He's trying really hard. For Final Fantasy 3, I love this song. For Final Fantasy 3, we're looking at Luneth. Now, in FF3, every characters can be everything, so we're gonna specifically look at the, I think it's just fighter. Again, pretty average, pretty B tier. I would probably put him above FF1 and FF2 warriors because you have a little bit more use and he's a little bit tankier, and the poor thing needs help. You don't remember much of FF2 or 3. Well, FF3 I know a lot because I played it a lot and I absolutely love FF3. It's one of my top 5 Final Fantasies. But honestly, as soon as you unlock better jobs, you don't generally keep your knights. There's no point. You might as well go with the, I think it's Paladin with the broomstick helm. You're gonna get tankier options with him. So in Final Fantasy 4, we have a Paladin, but we don't actually really get a knight, so we don't have an entry for FF4. Final Fantasy 5, well, we have, I believe they're just, are they warriors or fighters? I think they're just warriors. Just like the Dragoon in FF5, they're not really a class I use ever. Let's see. Just, yeah. Yeah. Not really a class I use. So this is really hard to speak about these. Now, I know that we put Terra into the Black Mage tier list, but I feel like Terra also has like the Magitech Knight. She still has like, she's still the warrior, the main character. She can do physical damage, but she's still kind of a elemental warrior, right? So because I really like Terra, I have to put her A tier, but if we were to talk about the warrior and the fighter, I don't think she's actually able to compete with the Clouds and the Squalls and the Tidus of the world, but it's Terra. Like, if I put her below B tier, my heart won't accept it. She's a great character. She grows a lot. She's not terrible. I mean, Terra's a great character. She goes through a lot of character growth, and then you just kind of get to feel bad for her, and then you have the option to go and save her. The song. Next we got our boy Cloud, and as much as I don't want to put him in S tier, I gotta put him in S tier. He's got the best limit breaks, one of the best limit breaks in all of the Final Fantasies. Actually, the next couple entries will. Character depth, not so much, but I do like the direction that they're taking Cloud in the Final Fantasy VII Remake Rebirth and other thing. I don't mind Cloud. I like him better than I used to. He's also, you're right, Ark, he's also the token of Final Fantasy. He's the mascot of Final Fantasy. Everybody knows Cloud. He's made his place in Smash Bros. He's too popular to not put as an S tier. Also, he's got his own movie. He's got many games. Like, Cloud is S tier, not in personality, but it's just in character. Just in character. He's the main character of Final Fantasy. I would argue that, well, yes, he's one of the 3 main characters of Final Fantasy. They try to make Lightning also the main character of Final Fantasy, and I feel like Clive is also gonna get there. I have a strong feeling that Clive's gonna get there. Next up for our Final Fantasy VIII entry, we get Squall. I have to put Squall in S tier for multiple reasons. And I know that people don't like FF8, but I absolutely adore FF8. And he time travels, stopped the world from folding on itself, like basically. Goes into space to save a girl that he kind of likes. He totally loves her, but you know, kind of likes. He becomes the headmaster of a whole military, military garden, I guess. Character growth, probably one of the best character growth. He's just really good. And so I feel like Squall is probably, in my opinion, better than Cloud. Oh, this is so fitting. Who doesn't like FF8? A lot of people don't like FF8. I love FF8. So to go in with the music right now, that's perfect. This playlist from TPR is fantastic. Mwah. Tidus, my boy Tidus, is also an S tier for me. I know a lot of people don't really care about Tidus, but here's the thing. Great character growth. Goes and fights against his dad, and that's huge. Understands what's going on, understands the sacrifices that he needs to make, doesn't complain, does it. The whole scene when he realizes about Yuna's journey and what happens, it's just... I don't know, there's just something really, really remarkable about like the emotional scene of that part of the game and what he does about that information. I think it's absolutely fantastic. So I would definitely, actually, we're gonna put Squall above Cloud. Do I like Tidus more than Cloud? Actually, yeah, I think Tidus is high-spirited. He's got like a very good drive. He goes from he brings a losing team to well, that's up to you as a player, I suppose. But I think he does a really, really great job. And then as a main character, I think he's relatable, better than Vaughn, let me tell you. And I really like Tidus. We'll have to do that after the video, Ark. Hi, Mike. Next up, we have Final Fantasy Tactics, and those are just the knights. I think this looks like squires. I guess we can talk about squires and knights. So, well, knights were in the paladin, never mind. So we're just going squire, which is kind of a fighter, or at least Final Fantasy Tactics version of a squire is your, version of a warrior is your based squires, which honestly, in Final Fantasy Tactics, they're very good. Are they S tier? No. However, accumulate or focus. Do I need to say more? If you've played Final Fantasy Tactics, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Squires can be very, very strong, very, very powerful, and running Squire as a second class or second job is so useful. You got Throw Stone. Point made. Point made. We don't need anything else. It's actually like, I love throwing stones just for experience. You find a chocobo, you corner a chocobo, throw stones at the chocobo, get experience, win. It's fantastic. Okay, we're a little bit out of order here. So we just finished Final Fantasy X, then we did Final Fantasy Tactics, Final Fantasy 11, I don't know. Final Fantasy 12 is arguable because there's not really any jobs. They're all kind of fighters. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, this is way out of order. So in Final Fantasy 10-2, we have Pain. I actually really like Pain as a character. It's really unfortunate for Pain that you have to do... It's not really side content, because there's not really any side content in Final Fantasy X-2, but you have to do a whole quest line that's actually kind of really annoying to find a little bit of information about Pain's character. Other than that, though, I think she's a good character. Love her design. And I think I'm going to put her maybe not as good as the Squires. But I think I'm going to still put her in A tier because I just really like Pain. I think she's the best thing to come out of Final Fantasy X too. Hi, Lynn. I can drink water. All right. Final Fantasy 13, well, we put Lightning as a paladin, and so we got, for Final Fantasy 13, we have Noel for 13-2, who doesn't have a head in this in this picture, which is kind of funny. So Noel, I'm gonna have to put him top of B tier. He's not a bad character. I think he's a fantastic character. He's best boy of the Final Fantasy 13-2 universe. But I don't think he's that special. He only cares about the one thing, is to save Yule, which is fine. It's adorable. I like it. But he's just such a surface character sometimes. That I don't know. Hope everyone is well and keeping themselves warm. It's actually not hot in Alberta today. It's actually quite nice. It's sunny. There's a little bit of a wind. It's gorgeous out there. It's not bad. It's not bad. Okay, I'm trying to look at this order. We skipped FF5 Berserkers. This is out of order. We'll reorder them before we start the next ones. So FF5 Berserkers are the pain of my existence. It's actually... They can be good with the Death Sickle. So I've done a 4-job fiesta where I had a Berserker and it was an experience. It wasn't bad. They're good. You do lose the ability to control them, which can be a little bad, but they're not a bad class. They're not a bad class. Looking through these pictures again, in Final Fantasy 3 we have Viking, and I think Viking is top tier. If on the end game of FF3 you need a tank, level up a Viking. Why? They have Provoke, they have high defense, and to me, Viking is the top tank in Final Fantasy 3. End of story. If you want to cheese, not really cheese, if you want to beat Iron Giant low level, you need 1 to 2 Viking to get you through it. Otherwise, you can't tank the damage, but with Viking, you can. Just trust me on this one. Okay, so we've done these ones. We have some Type 0. Oh, Final Fantasy X-2 Berserker. They work a little bit differently than regular other Final Fantasy Berserkers. In X-2, they're more like an evade and counter tank. They're not terrible. The damage is not quite there. Oh, sorry, the tankiness is not quite there. They can dish out some good physical damage. They're pretty average. I'm gonna put them top of B tier, maybe below Noel. Yeah. Yeah. In FF8, wow, we really need to order these. In Final Fantasy VIII, we had Cypher. I'm not a fan of Cypher. I think he's a little bit of an asshole. You do get to control him in your party once. He's not that strong because you're early game. I'm gonna have to put Cypher in C tier. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna have to put him in A tier for one reason and one only. His 1v1 versus Odin. Like, that's not forgettable. The only ever character to go against Odin other than like MMOs. I feel like we have to give him points for this. I feel like that's fair because that's really useful. And we've already done the tactics only if you have Odin at that point. That's right. But the fact that It auto happens, and no matter what, Cypher wins. It's an interesting thing that they haven't done after in any other Final Fantasies, and I feel like they really should have, but they didn't. In Final Fantasy Tactics Advance 1 and 2, you have your human soldiers. They're an early class, and they're pretty average. Clive fought Odin. Oh, that's true. Clive did fight Odin. I wrecked him. The soldier class is useful. They have a ranged attack. They have a self-heal, but they don't stay long for very long in the game. And then we have Final Fantasy Tactics Advance Berserkers. They're about in the same boat. They're very early class. It's not a class that I've used that much, so I can't really speak about it, but I don't think that I was ever tempted. A Final Fantasy VI. Did we seriously put Umaro there? I'm gonna put him D tier. Never really used him in my party ever. Please let me know in chat right now or in the comments below if you've used Umaro or whatever his name is. Let's go have a look. Umaro, have you used this character? Has he been useful to you? Because sure wasn't useful to me. So I'd rather use the mime. Go? Yeah, I'd rather use Go-Go over Umaro anytime. So D tier for me, pretty useless in my opinion, but that's my opinion. Okay, we're back kind of in order. We're in Final Fantasy 14 now. Not confusing. In Final Fantasy 14, we have Thancred. Wow, he beats Umaro. So, okay, here's the thing about my Thancred thoughts. I dislike the character so much. Even the last part, I'm not going to spoil anything, but in the last patch of Endwalker, no, not even the last patch. A while ago, we had to have Thancred in the story, and he just showed up to be useless, and I was like, why are you here? I just don't like the character. He kind of had a redeeming act in Final Fantasy 14, obviously, but in Shadowbringers. But even then, like, I'm over him. I'm not a fan of Thancred. Feel free to disagree. I don't mind. I can't stand him. But the next Final Fantasy 14 character, we have Robon, and Robon has to be B tier. At the very least. I wish he was still, to this day, a little bit more important, but I do think he's a great character. I think his loyalty to Nanamo is absolutely just adorable, and he's kind of armless. I mean, that's a low blow. I think he's a great character. I don't have much to say. If you play Final Fantasy 14, you totally get where I'm coming from. 10 out of 10. Well, 8 out of 10 because he's B tier. And then we have the Warrior of Light, Aldebert. He's gonna be S tier. I like him better than Cloud for sure. So his storyline just made me cry. I thought it was well written. I love his voice. I know that he's supposed to represent... Oh, Ashing. I know that he's supposed to represent the Warrior of Light, especially in the videos and stuff. I don't know. I feel like they nailed his personality. Generic enough that it could be anyone, but the voice acting direction was so good. 10 out of 10. Like, he's a great character. I wish we had more of him. And, well, I know the reasons why we can't really or we don't, but I think they did a really good job with him. So that's it for Final Fantasy 14. Final Fantasy 15, Noctis. He's okay. As far as main Final Fantasy characters, I find Noctis a little disappointing. He's lacking something. Just a little something, right? Does he succeed? Sure. Ray Chase voices him. It's perfect. I just feel like Noctis can be so bland at some point. He's lacking Luna. And then, like, I don't know, like, there's something missing about his character that I just don't connect with. He's not terrible. He's fun to play. He's very versatile for a main character. Like that. I do like that, but I don't think he's... I think he's more like a B tier. I think Robon is better. I would think Noel is less surface Noctis goes through a lot, so yeah, I think B tier is where he belongs. I don't think Noctis really shines without his friends. By himself is pretty lackluster. So, yeah. B. So that was 15. Now for Final Fantasy 16, we have 3 entries. We have Sir Wade, which is, I don't know, he's C tier. He's there. He's got an axe like a warrior. He acts like a warrior. He survived very important stuff. So C tier. That's the only reason he's not D. He's okay. He's okay. Then we have Sid, who is also a black mage, but Sid as a warrior, ooh, we're gonna put him like A tier. I do like Pain a little bit better. I do really like Sid in Final Fantasy 16. I think he's a fantastic character. His voice is on point with what the personality of the character is. He does a lot, but yes, we put him in black mage, but we're putting him in warrior as well because he does fight with his sword. He's also kind of a tactician. He's a great character. If you have not played 16, I'm sure you're gonna love him immediately. And our last Final Fantasy 16 character we have is Byron, and I have a soft spot for Baron. He's like your uncle, the uncle that you want, okay? The uncle that everybody deserves. He cares about you. He remembers the little things. He's just hilarious, and he's such well written. I think in Final Fantasy 16, the most I've laughed at was scenes that includes him. He's not a comedic relief like, let's say, Gav is, but he's just there to bring like a level of like mature humor that I think they were on point with it. I think he's top of A tier because he's just that good. And then last but not least, we have 3 characters from Type Zeros that kind of qualify as a fighter warrior. We're gonna start with Machina, which I understand that they needed a story to you know, for the game and stuff, but like Machina is such a, I want to say bland character, but not really. He's a predictable character that doesn't really leave a lasting impression. And he's so mad that he's so bland that he turns on you, basically. And it's just, this whole storyline is so just unnecessary. I think he's just a teenage with a tantrum. And I just don't have it in me. Like, I just do not care for Machina. I also do not care about Sync, and she's gonna actually go bottom of D tier. So Sync is the slowest Type 0 character. Bless you, Burger. She's the slowest, the dumbest. Oh god, is she dumb. Oh, it's painful to hear her talk. Yeah. I couldn't do it. Every time she was in a cutscene, I kind of just got angry for some reason. Could not control her because she's too slow. Swinging her attack, by the time she's swinging, she's dead. I just did not enjoy playing with Sync. I know that she's the Berserker. I know that she's supposed to be incredibly strong, but the enemies have time to dodge you before you even hit. I just could not do it. Hated it. Could not do it. Will never do it. She's cute, but that's it. Umaro. I would be willing to put Umaro in my FF6 party over Sync in my Type 0 party. That's how bad. She's too dumb, yeah. Yeah. And of course, last but not least, we have our 7. Now, 7 is my favorite character of Type 0. She's got a very unique weapon that you don't see anywhere else in the Final Fantasy universe. She's got a sword web. The closest to her weapon type would be Quistis, which just, and Rydia, I guess, with just the base whips. But 7 is a fantastic character. She succeeds at range. She succeeds at melee, and she can just be anywhere in the arena and still dish out some damage. She's an okay mage as well. She's kind of the jack of all trade of the game, in my opinion. You can kind of branch her out. 7 is the only character that I played in Type 0, and if she died, I'd just restart. So for me, because this is my tier list and my super biased tier list, 7 will go at the bottom of S tier because she's my favorite Type 0 character and the only one I used. And I really honestly just find her really good. Her dodge is like a one-hand cartwheel. Her weapon having so much range but doing good damage at melee is just so useful. If you've never played Type 0 before, give her a try if you do play, because you can kind of really adjust your playstyle to her, and it works out. It worked out for me. And her, I don't remember, what is it called? Kill shots? Was it kill shots? When the thingy shows up and you have to like press a button? Hers were, like the window for the kill shots or whatever they're called were actually pretty good, where I had time to actually react. And so, yeah. Now, if we review, so Final Fantasy Warriors and Fighters, is Squall really S tier? Is Squall really my best S tier? Yeah. I kind of actually want to move Pain here, because she's the only mature character in Final Fantasy X-2. Like, she's the only one that actually thinks, other than maybe Shinra. Yeah, I'm happy with Byron on A tier. Yep. B tier are your average tiers. Berserkers pretty, yeah, no, that's fair. You can tell the characters I don't really care about. I'm tempted to even move Amaro above Thancred. No, well, Thancred has a little bit, this is Thancred, which I'll never forget. Yes, I think that's it. So Warriors and Fighter, this is our end tier list. I think I'm pretty happy with this. I think that'll be our final. So thank you so much for watching this video. And hi YouTube, if you're live from Twitch, we're gonna do a bunch more. And I'm really excited. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Should we bump some up?